Eve on the mix.
Hello everyone, HisRoyalFatness here and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be continuing the How to Play series in the T57 Heavy Tank. This is where I play 3 consecutive games, good or bad. I will show them and I'll explain my thought process during those battles in the hopes that it helps you out as players. And a quick public service announcement I would like to make is I now have a Discord channel set up where we can talk about the YouTube channel and the game. Shout out to my clanmates Fudu and Glory for helping me make the Discord server. There will be a link down in the description. Additionally, I am going to put my equipment on the screen right about now so you can see what I'm running on this vehicle. Like I always say, it's completely subjective to you as a player, but if you're curious to see what I'm running, this is what I feel comfortable playing with on this vehicle. So without further ado, let's jump right into the first of the 3 battles. Alright, so for the first game, we're on Winter Malinovka, and what you're going to see I'm going to do here is I'm going to push up towards the middle of the map, and that's because looking at the mini-map, I saw the enemy team had a lot of strong heavy tanks that would likely go to the windmill, and I was assuming that our medium tanks were going to be a little more aggressive on the right side. Now, unfortunately, they're not going to do that. They're actually just going to climb up to the middle with me. I'm trying to tell them to spot right, because when I'm at this middle position by the chapel, I can actually support them so well from here. Instead, I'm still going to take this position because I know I can get some early spots, and that's exactly what I get here. I get an early spot. I'm going to get 2 shots into this Malshin before pulling back and going for a clip reload. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm going to be patient. I don't know where the enemy team is. Sure, the Malshin is spotted, and it's very likely the other heavy tanks have pushed up to the right side of the map by the windmill. But I don't know where those medium tanks are. I don't know if the medium tanks are pushing mid, so I'm just going to sit here for a moment and be patient. I'm going to see if I can spot the Malshin while he's crossing. I don't think he's going to cross, but I was seeing if he did cross, I wanted to put more shots into him. Now, the light tanks get spotted up in our spawn because our light tanks were so passive. Their light and medium tanks are actually going to be really aggressive, and that's actually going to hurt their team a little bit because now I have an opportunity to push, and that's what you want to do with the 57 Heavy. You wait until you see an opportunity to push, because you can deal 1200 damage in 5 seconds, and that is a lot of damage to deal in 5 seconds, and this E50M is going to really regret pushing onto our T62A. I'm aiming for track shots here, and the reason I'm doing that is if I didn't aim for track shots here on this E50M, he would have pulled down. As you can see, when he pulls down, I don't really have shots on him. By tracking him there, I guarantee that I can get a full clip on him, and now he's out of repair kits. So they have 2 medium tanks, or a medium and a light tank down here, and our team is going to get overmatched on the windmill. I noticed that immediately. Instead of going and chasing down those low health targets on the right, I'm going to leave that to my 2 remaining medium tanks, and I'm hoping they'll be able to take them out. But I know the gameplay here is to support my team on the right, because without my support, our E75 or Tortoise especially, they're just going to get dominated by these tier 10 heavy tanks, and there's nothing they can do about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push up, and I want to pressure this E100 here because he's having a great time farming our E75 because he's not getting punished for it, right? He's just poking out and shooting the E75. Now I'm here, and this E100's plans to kill our E75 are pretty much ruined right there because he can no longer be super aggressive on this side. Once I reload my clip, if he pushes out, I can put another clip into him, and he knows that, so he's going to pull back. And the standard B is pulled up with him. Now, I'm going to continue being aggressive on this side because I've saved my HP. I haven't played super aggressive, but now it is the time for me to use my HP as a heavy tank, get my gun into the game, and start distracting the enemy team. So what I want to do here is I'm pulling up to the right, and that will turn the enemy to look at me, which gives my 2 remaining tank destroyers time to shoot them in the side. So I'm going to pick up the kill on the Yag, and I know the chieftain just shot me, so I feel perfectly comfortable sitting here putting another shot into him. Now look how much the game has changed already, because I pushed up this aggressively on the right side because I was patient and waited for an opportunity to push up. I have pretty much single-handedly changed the outcome of this flank because I distracted the enemy team. I prevented them from aggressing on our tier 9s. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to clip out this chieftain. I'm aiming for track shots here, and a little bit unfortunate for me, I'm actually going to low roll my clip pretty bad. Every shot was pretty much below 370, but it's not going to matter in the end. We're still going to win. Our Badger's quite healthy, and we've pretty much won this side of the flank already. I do want to try and kill this chieftain, but of course you have a 20-second clip reload, so it takes some time. You gotta wait for the reload. I'm thinking about killing the Malshin, which is why I loaded heat, just to guarantee a pen, but it's no problem. So now, the Malshin's slow. I'm not going to worry about him. What I want to worry about is taking out these light and medium tanks, because they're going to be the real problem. The Maoshin, he's stuck. He cannot be effective there. And I can see that our Badger's pushing up to kill the Maoshin, right? Right there. I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm just going to focus my full attention to these light tanks. I can see the T92 is trying to push up behind. So I'm going to get a quick kill shot on him. And then what I'm going to do is OP driving right here. I'm going to get myself stuck on this tortoise, which is fantastic. I get myself unstuck, and now I'm able to push up. Now, what I really want to clarify in this game is the game-changing play was me pushing at the right time and, you know, not just YOLOing at the start. Just because you're heavy tank doesn't mean you have a ton of armor or a ton of HP in this vehicle, right? You want to be very selective of when you push in, but when you do push in, it's so effective for the team. As this game shows, just by pushing in at the right time, I was pretty much able to single-handedly guarantee that we won that game. If I had pushed down on those medium tanks on the right, we probably would have lost. I mean, there would be nothing there to stop those heavy tanks at the windmill from killing my team, and then I would be in a very difficult situation. So that is something to be aware of, and that's what I really want to clarify with the 57 Heavy. It's kind of similar to the AMX-50B, except with the AMX-50B, you have the greater mobility, slightly different characteristics. You can play that vehicle a little more aggressively. Whereas with the 57 Heavy, you can play this vehicle a little bit more like a heavy tank, but just because you can play it more like a heavy tank doesn't mean you can play it like an IS-4. You can't just sit, hull down, and sit in front of the enemy team and bounce a ton of shots. You still have to be careful with this vehicle. And so we are on Nube now, and I'm gonna get a shot by this Patton, which is a little unfortunate, but I want to push up to these bridges, and I can see that my team is helping me by looking at the minimap. So I am gonna push up here, and if there's a good position here, if you don't know about, you can actually shoot tanks through these above the rail cars. So I'm going to get a nice shot at the E50M turret. The second shot is actually going to bounce a little, unfortunately, but it's a good position to know about. So if they have vehicles with tall turrets on the other side of these rail cars, you can actually kind of snipe them. Now what I'm doing is I'm looking right, and that's because I'm concerned about a vehicle pulling up on my right side. Just as I was concerned, the VK72 pops up. So I'm happy I didn't push up because I was a little bit cautious about it. Now looking at the game, what do we have here? We have 3 tanks in front of us and pretty much 2 tanks behind us and 1 tank on our right. I really want to push up top. I don't want to turn all the way around and give up the high ground of this map to their medium tanks, because that would just lose us the game. But unfortunately, this VK72 is pushing up. However, fortunately for me, he's not even paying attention, which means I get to put a full clip into his turret. Now that I know the VK shot, he has about a 15-second reload. Now is my time to be aggressive. Even though I'm clipping, I know by time I pull all the way up, I should have a clip almost loaded. And that's exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm pulling all the way up, and I want to exterminate these mediums as fast as possible while their VK is out of the game. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to pull up, I'm going to get a clip into this E50M. I'm just going to take his tracks off. That way he's unable to turn and shoot me as easily. Perfect. And now the game's looking a lot better. We've taken control of the top of the map. Their medium tanks are down low. They're not very dangerous to me right now. So my priority is going to be loading my clip and shoot this VK72. As you can see, I'm corner peeking. So if you tilt your screen around a corner, you can actually see what a tank is doing. You can see when they fire. Obviously the VK just fired, so I'm going to easily put a clip into him and pick up the kill. So great news. Now, instead of reloading my clip immediately, I noticed the Chieftain Mark 6 is low HP, so I'm just going to take that time to put a kill shot into him. And now I'm loading my clip again, and it was a simple gameplay, but a lot of people wouldn't push up when they saw VK72 on the right. However, that was the right play to make there. The VK72 has bad DPM long reload. I needed to help my team guarantee the top of the map, and because of that, this game is pretty much already won. I'm not going to do too much more damage this game, actually. The Sheridan was already taken out by the 62A, and this Patton's getting clipped by the 4005. I'm going to put one shot into this Patton, and then he's going to die. Now, I put one shot into the Patton. The reason I don't go for the kill here is I know the 62A has him. He's got the kill. There's no doubt about it. I'd rather focus my attention onto this heavy tank and take his HP down. So I'm going to put 2 shots through the C5's lower plate, and then it's just going to be a chase game. So at this point, the game's already won. There's nothing more really I can explain here. I'm just going to chase down the C5, put another shot into him. But what I wanted to clarify is you have to be really aware in the 57 of when to push. And I think that's what the 57 does really great. It does great in pushing, but not at pushing at the wrong moment. You have to push at the right moment with this vehicle, just like with the Malinovka game. You have to be ready to push at the right moment. So ignoring the vehicles that were irrelevant, that VK72 was pretty much irrelevant to me, and I just wanted to guarantee the top. And I think that definitely helped us in winning this battle, because if I focused my sole attention on the VK72, there's a chance we would have lost the top much faster that game. So another decent game, and these games were all played in a row, so I was pretty happy because I was performing pretty decently in the 57 Heavy at this point in time. So 4.7k, no ace tanker, but who really cares in the end? It's all about what my thought process is during these games. Alright, so now we are on to the next map, and I'm going to try and pull left because I don't want to face a mouse. As you look at the team lineup, they have a mouse on the right side. I wanted to pull left and help my team mediums, but I'm like, oh my gosh. So the medium tanks decide they don't want to go left after all. So I'm just going to relocate my tank to the right and just stay with my team. And that's a good thing to note with the 57 Heavy. Try not to get separated from your team because really you have a 21-second clip reload where you're not able to shoot. And the moment you clip anything and you get rushed by 2 tanks, you're pretty much doomed. So yes, don't run away from your team. Just kind of make sure you have support and backup. Now at this point, what do we have here? We have a mouse on the right. The Vickers got spotted on our left, and both Vickers got spotted on our left, and the E5 was actually spotted on our left, which means this mouse is alone with probably 2 or 3 TDs covering him. So I'm going to take this a moment to start being more aggressive on the middle of the map. And the 704 gets spotted, which is great. And I'm going to prioritize that 704 because taking a mouse takes time, whereas the 704 is much easier. I'm going to aim for a track shot here. Now, even though the 704 goes unspotted, I know I took his tracks off again, and I'm going to put another shot into him. And I actually penned all 3 shots into that 704, even though 2 of them were blind. And I was happy with that trade, you know? We took out a tier 9 TD, and I only took 500 damage for it. So, a good trade. At this point, I'm keeping an eye on the minimap. I can see that our 263 is going down in a rain of glory, and now is the time for me to be a little bit more aggressive. However, I don't know where that 704 is, so I'm still being a little bit cautious, but I know, alright, I need to start putting a shot into this mouse. I got a nice shot into his turret, and I wait for the mouse. I see the mouse is distracted, and now I know it's time to push up. I'm going to put a heat shell through his side. I see I have good shots with AP, reload AP, and get a shot into him. And that's how you drive into a rock, by the way. Just don't look where you're driving, and you're going to drive right into a rock. It's pretty fantastic. So, 268 is going to die. I'm not even going to bother turning towards him. There's no doubt he's going to die there. Whereas this mouse, I need to try and kill him as quickly as possible in this situation because he's holding off my entire team from focusing their attention elsewhere. Now, I thought the E5 was going to poke on this left side, which is why I sat here to see if I could try and get a clip off, maybe perma-track him for 2 shots. Unfortunately, the E5 doesn't poke, so I go for a clip reload. A little bit unfortunate I went for a clip reload right there because then the Vickers get spotted up, but I do not have a shot on him. And looking at the map now, we can see, alright, so the Vickers is a one-shot. He's going to go down pretty quickly, and he's already gone. They have a Vickers on the right. They have a 704 probably in the middle. Yep, 704 is by the Vickers. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to push up on this E5 because he's slightly exposed to my clip. And let me say, when you get the chance, go for those track shots. 1 track shot on the E5, he repairs. 2nd track shot plus a fire. And then we're also going to put an HE shot into the rear of his vehicle. I mean, 5 seconds minus 1300 damage on that E5. And that is exactly why the 57 Heavy is so great. That inner clip reload time, and just the perma tracking abilities, right? By the time someone's reactions are fast enough to repair once, you can usually put another shot right into their tracks. And that E5 did not have a great day at all. So now the Vickers is YOLOing me. The reason I didn't go for the E5 is I saw our 263 was pushing the E5, so I decided to push elsewhere and get a shot into this Vickers. Good. So now we have 5.6k, but we all know it's actually more damage than 5.6k because I got a fire. I'm not going to reload in time to get the kill on this 704, but I thought this replay was good because it kind of showed just how great the tracking ability is of this tank. When you can start tracking someone, it is so deadly. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope it'll help explain a little bit what I think when I played T57 Heavy. I tried to explain a lot of my thought process and how, like, when I look at the minimap, what I'm thinking, and I hope that will help you. I don't go too much into detail about statistics of vehicles. That's because those are a little bit irrelevant when it comes to playing. It's all about the decisions you make in the battle, and I wanted to show you the decisions I made during those 3 battles. So, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.